Hello and welcome back to Whiskey Wars. My name is Sean and tonight we'll be reviewing Maker's Mark 101. Let's get into it. Alright, so here's our bottle and box for this evening. But before we get into that, let's do a quick history real quick for those that don't know the history of Maker's Mark. So there was a time in this country's history where, for whatever reason, Americans didn't want brown spirits. They wanted stuff like gin and vodka. Why? No one knows, because vodka sucks. Just ask Fred Minnick. But then Maker's Mark comes along, or actually more specifically, the Samuels family, and instead of making cheap stuff like gin and vodka, they decided that they're going to make brown spirits, specifically bourbon. And not only are they going to make bourbon, but they're going to make expensive bourbon, which was kind of a crazy notion at that time because everybody wanted cheap stuff. The Samuels family markets their bourbon and says it tastes expensive because it is. Because who cares what people want, right? So the Samuels make this bold move, and then later in 1958, Miss Samuels comes up with the idea of hand dipping their bottles in red wax, and of course, we still have that today going on. Let's see if I can get this box open without tearing it apart. All right, box aside, actually we don't need this other than for maybe reading. But there is the famous hand dip top. As it says right here, every bottle is dipped by hand. I mean, I don't know how else you would go about doing that, but yeah, good to know. Some other fun stuff on here. It says, this is a rare taste of our signature bourbon. I don't know about how rare it is because I see these pretty much everywhere. It also says limited release. Probably not that limited. I don't know. Anyway, don't need the box right now. We'll put that down on the floor. Now let's get into our bottle though. Our signature family recipe, bottle at higher proof. Indeed, yes. And we all appreciate that. I am not a fan of standard Maker's Mark. I didn't rate it real high when I did the review. But as you can see, I have enjoyed some of this and so far liking it. This is actually my second bottle, so I like it quite a good amount. But let's get into the nose here and see what this thing is all about. See how much that higher proof has helped out Maker's Mark. Getting it nice and drunk here, spin it around. Real quick, let's look at that color. Nice color there. Nice rich amber color. That's what we like to see. Oh man, that nose is something else. Just rich caramel, nice cinnamon notes, like a really sweet cinnamon, brown sugar, like the top of a creme brulee, that kind of toasted brown sugar on there. Oh man, got a real nice cherry note in there as well, like a real sweet cherry, like cherry Twizzler. Also, nice oaky note. It's not like a sour oak. It's like like my table here, even though this is walnut. But just the smell of oak, like a log cabin or something. Seasoned wood. Some nice peppery notes in there. Also getting maybe like a strawberry, some sweeter red fruits. Oh man, that's just an excellent nose. Everything that I look for on the nose of a bourbon, this has it. Just a lot going on here. Just really nice, deep, rich tones. Also maybe some sweet tobacco there. Just a really nice nose. Let's give it our first sip though. You know, so just thinking about this compared to standard Makers, I would say this is several steps above that. Now, if you like the lighter palate, this is bolder, and that's what I like about it. So right away, right on the front of the tongue, just a burst of cinnamon, lots of spicy cinnamon notes, kind of like Red Hots or Fireball candy, not the terrible whiskey-ish Fireball, not that crap. No, this is a really nice cinnamon, and then it kind of turns into like a vanilla. You're also getting some cherry notes, kind of mid-palate, maybe just hints of strawberry. It's a little less sweet on the palate than on the nose. There's also a little bit of pepper in there as well. Then you're getting that toasty, nice oak note in there also. The caramels, the brown sugars, those are definitely present. There's a really nice caramel note there. I gotta say, very nice first sip. Let's go in for a second sip here and see what else we can get. So although both this and Standard Maker's Mark both have that cherry note, I really like the cherry note in this much better. It's a more darker, richer cherry note. The cherry note I get in Standard Makers is more medicinal and lighter, and I just don't enjoy it nearly as much. This is darker, more full, as you would expect from a higher proof bourbon, and it's kind of like a cinnamon cherry, so kind of a spicy cherry, which doesn't sound that great, but it actually works really well in this bourbon. And also, as I said, you're getting kind of that vanilla note in there, maybe just hints of kind of creaminess, like a whipped cream in there also. And then the finish is just tons of that. Then that cherry really takes over. It's just like cherry and cinnamon on the finish. It's a really, really nice finish. Really enjoy it. There is hints of kind of toasted and charred oak in there as well on the finish. That's really where you get most of the barrel presence, is on the finish. But I think it works really well together. There's also just hints of pepper in there also. So all in all, just an excellent, excellent pour. Really enjoying this bottle. If you haven't tried it, I can't suggest it highly enough. And folks, if you're enjoying this video, if this has been helpful, please hit that like button. And also, think about supporting the channel. We would really appreciate that. We have our Patreon going already, so please look at that. There's different tiers you can choose from. We really appreciate that. And also, there's benefits to the Patreon, such as you can suggest videos, and on the higher tiers, you can even get free samples from me. So something to think about. So I would greatly appreciate whatever you folks can give. So thank you in advance. Lastly, folks, if you want to see more from me, you can click right here for more reviews. And if you really want to stay in tune with the channel, you can subscribe right here. And until next time, folks, just remember, you can never have too much good whiskey.